We are ready to get started. So I can see Krista, who's on an iPad. Can you just give me a thumbs up that my volume's okay? Awesome. Marilyn, how about you? Does the volume sound okay? Awesome. Great. So definitely let us know at any point if there's an issue with volume or screen or anything. You can just put it in the chat. John and I are going to be tag teaming this. I don't know if you're aware, but we have twin 1 year olds. So he's with them, and then he'll come in and do the stretching, and I will be here in the beginning and the end. So that's how we're going to handle this webinar. We're really excited to be here with you guys today. Um, so the title of the webinar is Life-Changing Stretching Focused on Fascia. And we have two very simple goals, as I indicated in the emails that you've gotten. The first is to make sure you understand what fascia is. And the second is to make sure you understand how to stretch it using resistance. Resistance stretching is the exact definition of the work that we do. So those are our goals for today. But let's get started on the webinar. So I'm going to bring you through a few slides, and then we're going to get into talking about fascia, and then we're going to get into the stretching. Our objective is to keep this to an hour, but typically with Q&A, it ends up going a little bit over an hour, but we always try. Okay. So first, you are in the right place if you are trying to solve pain and injury and stay flexible and strong, or you're an athlete who wants to have personal bests. You're also in the right place if you've been feeling hopeless, that no one has answers or help. You've been around the corner, you've tried a bunch of things, and it hasn't worked. You're also in the right place if you're afraid you won't be able to keep doing the things that you love to do because of stuff going on in your body. You are also in the right place if you're ready to commit to an exercise method that gets to the root cause of pain, injuries, flexibility, and strength. And the key word there is commit. You do have to do something. There is no magic pill that I'm aware of, but I'm always open to hearing about one. You're in the wrong place if you don't like new approaches. So I will bet dollars to donuts what we do you have not done before unless you've tried some of our videos. I mean, there are a handful, literally, of people in the world doing this. And sometimes we'll get comments, "Oh yeah, my PT does this, my yoga instructor does this." Chances are it's different. This really is its own thing, and I doubt that you've done it before unless you've done it with us or another resistance flexibility trainer. You aren't willing to dedicate 15 to 20 minutes a day or a few times a week to your health, and you lack basic mobility. So this is an online platform, online program. So if you're lacking in basic mobility, it might not be the best program for you. In person might be better. And like I said before, you do have to do something. You have to show up and stretch. You're someone who likes to check out when you work out and just tick the box. So what I'm referring to here is the culture, the mentality of like, throwing on headphones, listening to your Walkman if you're the person of my age. But of course, there are no Walkmans anymore. But listening to music, watching TV, reading a book, doing all those sorts of things while you're working out. This is a method that requires presence of mind, and it all comes down to the fascia. In order to change it, you really have to be present. So this isn't a check out while you work out kind of thing. Lastly, you don't like free content followed by an insanely good offer. So we are going to do what we said today. We're going to teach you about fascia. We're going to teach you how to stretch it. And then we're going to tell you about our membership site. So that's what's going on today. And if you don't want to hear about all of that, you, of course, do not have to stay. Our promise to you, we will deliver as much value as we possibly can in this 60-minute masterclass. And nothing we teach today is based on theory. We have a huge amount of experience between the two of us, John and I. In return, we ask that you keep an open mind for the new information that you're going to hear today. I can't stress it enough. It's a new way to stretch. It's actually not that new. It's just new to most people. And that you participate in the class and stretch. This is a physical modality. I hope I don't see anyone sitting down while we're stretching. You have to actually do it. And if you can't do every stretch that John does, because what he's going to do today will be kind of medium difficulty to appeal to the majority, but he will definitely teach some standing stretches and then some on the ground stretches. So do the ones that you can do. And if you can do all of them, great. Keeping in mind that in terms terms of like our archive of stretches, our membership of stretches, we have multiple poses for each muscle group. So, if you are someone that, isn't in a place right now where you can get down on the ground, we've got you covered. We're just not going to focus on only that today in this free training because we want to appeal to everybody. What you can expect to learn. I've already told you, but let's just say it again. The real cause of stiffness when it comes to the tissue in your body, your lack of flexibility is because you haven't paid attention to your fascia. So we 100% need to understand what fascia is so that we're motivated to start paying attention to it. A new way to stretch. We're going to teach you how to stretch your fascia. Nothing like traditional stretching, nothing like yoga, nothing like strength training, nothing like Pilates. It's its own movement and it targets the fascia directly. We're also going to explain how traditional stretching, end range stretching, passive stretching actually makes you less flexible. So you need to understand that too, because you don't want that to happen, right? Um, Lastly, the secret to reclaiming your life and health so that you can keep doing what you love to do no matter your injury or pain point. And so that's really the bottom line when it comes to this method is we want to keep you doing the things that you love to do. And this is the method that's going to allow that. It's the anti-aging movement that needs to be made. I mean, everybody's going to age. Like I said, it's not a magic pill, but we're doing it prematurely. The tissue's atrophying in ways that it does not need to, and people are experiencing a lot of pain and injury at younger and younger ages, actually. And so a lot of that has to do, of course, with lifestyle and the direction that our culture has gone. But a lot of it also has to do with the fact that we are ignoring the fascia and we don't need to be. So, yeah, that's key. You want to keep doing the stuff you love to do for as long as you want to do it. Okay, whenever we do these special trainings and these special enrollment periods, we always roll out a couple of bonuses, and the bonuses are always based on feedback from people. And so we're pretty excited about the bonuses that we have for this June, and I always like to get a vote of what's more popular with the group. So this first one is a shoulder series ebook and video. It's a 30-minute video, and it goes through stretches for acute, chronic, whatever level of shoulder pain that you have. You're going to get immediate relief from doing the video. And then over time, it'll eradicate the symptom and get your shoulders a lot better. Plus, there's an ebook to accompany that, that's like a printed version of the stretches that are in the video. So there's one bonus. Second bonus as part of this June training and enrollment period is a hip focused video. So that's a 20-minute video that focuses on hip pain, strain, stiffness. There's one muscle group in particular associated with the hips. It's the medial hamstring. It's also associated with the pancreas meridian in the body, which we'll talk about in this training, how you can increase organ health with this method. Again, it all comes down to the fascia. And so this video focuses on that particular muscle group and various stretches for that muscle group. So I would love you to just stick in the chat. John is in the other room with the babies, but he's got one eye on the chat because we would love to know which bonus appeals to you more. You can put hip or shoulders. We really want to know. You can put both. That's a vote too. Yeah, so we have the shoulder bonus and the hip bonus. Which one do you like better? Also, I'm just going to throw this out there. It's not, we're kind of just dangling a carrot here. We're also offering a handful of surprise bonuses during this enrollment period, but I'll just shelf that for now since I'm not going to tell you what they are. Okay, so just take a moment. You don't have to write it down, although I did write down here in the put write down in the slide, but just reflect. And if you want to write it down and you're taking notes, go for it. Think of two physical activities that you love to do. And at Bendable Body, when we talk about physical activities, it doesn't have to be like running, jogging, sprinting, tennis, skiing. It could be knitting, it could be sewing, it could be gardening, it could be cooking, it could be road trips. Just activities that are physical, and most are, other than sleeping. And actually, in a way, sleeping is a physical activity as well, that you love. Okay. And now I want you to think. So if you've got those two physical activities in your mind, I know I have mine. I love gardening and I also love cooking. Think of two injuries or pain points or problem areas in your body. So for me, it's my right knee and it's the balls of my feet. And a lot of that has to do with the babies and lack of sleep and carrying them around. And I also fell when I was in the hospital with them right on my knee. So, what are two areas that you have that are, kind of nagging at you a little bit? Think about those. And now what I want you to think about is like, do you see yourself doing those two activities in 5 years? Like, is that going to be still happening? And hopefully the answer is yes. Like, yeah, heck yeah, I want to still be doing it, right? But then you kind of have to take a step back and look at the trajectory of what's happened in your life and be like, well, wait a second. Am I going to be able to? Am I doing what I need to do to keep the injury and the pain and the stiffness at bay so that I can keep cooking, gardening, lifting babies, doing all the stuff that I really want to do? And that's kind of a reality check moment that I think a lot of us don't take the time to check into. So, another thing I want to kind of just bring your attention to, it's just sort of an opportunity for you to reflect. There are there's a kind of person who lives life to a full age, seemingly getting younger and younger than your peers. After working with thousands of clients, we've seen that people tend to fall into two categories, right? And so let's find out which category you're in. You may say I'm not in either, but usually everybody's in one or the other. First, in pain Peggy. I know that I've been an in pain Peggy at times in my life. So who's Peggy? She thinks she needs to strengthen and stretch the places she has pain. This is really key, and I want to just pause for a moment and make sure that it's sunk in for folks because it's like the biggest misconception on the planet, and 99.9% of the people think it. They think it even after they've been stretching with us for kind of a lot of years. Like, oh, I have knee pain. I need to strengthen and stretch the muscles surrounding my knee. Oh, I have hip pain. I need to strengthen and stretch the muscles surrounding my hip, my shoulder, etc. This is a common concept and it is a total misconception. She's afraid to try new exercises because she doesn't want to make it worse. Who's been there before? Oh God, I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to make it worse. She spends a lot of money on massages, physical therapy, foam rollers, etc. And in the end, probably takes painkillers or maybe even gets surgery. So if anybody's ever been a Peggy, please put Peggy in the chat. We want to know. We definitely want to know. Now, Connie, here's the other person category of people that we see a lot of. And this person, Connie, Conscious Connie, she's actually one of our clients and members. So who is Connie? Connie is a seeker that knows only she can be responsible for her health. So the key there is she's taking responsibility for her own health. She's not leaving it to someone else. She has an open mind and loves to try new things because she's clear what doesn't work. So she has perspective. She's tried a bunch of stuff and she knows it doesn't work. She's committed to working hard for her health every day, willing to put in a bit of time. That's key. She has no pain, does what she wants when she wants, and this is really important, knows how to fix a pain point should it arise because stuff's going to happen. We're living in a human body, we're doing things. The point is to be able to get rid of it quickly and not have it take you down. So we have in pain Peggy and conscious Connie. Go ahead and put in the chat who you are. Are you a Peggy or a Connie or sometimes both? We want to know. So stretching is how both resistance stretching is how both John and I overcame pain and stiffness in our own bodies, but all stretching methods are not created equally, right? It's how we at Bendable Body target fascia that matters most. And so this is where I'm going to pause and we're going to go into a teaching moment here and we're going to explain to you what fascia is. So if you're a note taker, now's your time to do it. Of course, this recording is happening and it'll go to the all access page so you can watch it later. I'm going to give you my explanation and then John's going to come in and give you his, and it's going to be really valuable for you to get both perspectives. And then after he's done explaining his version of what fascia is, we're going to start stretching. So you want to be prepared for that. Like, do you have a little bit of open space? Do you have a yoga mat available? A little bit of wall space? Are you ready to start stretching? Probably in less than 10 minutes here. Okay, so what is fascia? The most common definition and synonym for fascia is connective tissue. So that's a descriptive name. It's the tissue that connects all other tissues in the body, ligaments, tendons, bones, muscles, fat, organs. They're all connected by fascia. It's the only tissue in the body that touches all of the other tissues. Okay. Um, it shapes you. So we think of our shape as being caused by quote unquote our weight. Are we thin? Are we heavy? Do we have an apple body? Do we have a pear body? What's our body shape? It's the fascia actually that's having a huge impact on our shape, our silhouette, um, etc. And so up close under a microscope, it looks a bit like a three-dimensional water web when it's healthy, right? When it's unhealthy up close, it looks like a layered white mat of thick tissue. And that is kind of unhealthy fascia versus that water web is healthy fascia. And it really has a health spectrum. A term that most people are familiar with is scar tissue. Scar tissue is none other than extremely unhealthy fascia. That's literally what it is. It's connective tissue that's become scarred and so atrophied and hard and dense. And you can kind of understand, oh, I hate scar tissue. I don't want that. So you don't want unhealthy fascia because what happens is it binds muscles. And so this brings me to the next point about fascia that's super important, especially as it relates to bendable body and stretching. So everybody thinks of their muscles as like this like singular meaty object, kind of like a chicken breast, right? That's a muscle. And that's true. But muscles are made up of all individual fibers. You can think of it like, the segment of an orange, and you open that up and it's got all the little orange fibers in it. That's what muscles are like up close and under a microscope. And so fascia is surrounding the whole muscle and surrounding each of those little fibers. So it's literally penetrating into all of your muscles. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. So we know we want our muscles to be strong and we know we want our muscles to be flexible, right? We don't want them to be tight and stiff and tense, and we don't want them to be weak. We know that. So, given what I've just told you about the presence of fascia in your muscles, don't you think that also needs to be healthy? It 1,000% does. The strength and mobility of your muscles is completely dependent upon your fascia. In fact, muscles are really just an innocent bystander to unhealthy fascia. And if you don't address your fascia and you keep, doing the crunches and lifting the weights and, in the exact right area, strengthening your core, doing all the things that we're told to do, it's not going to matter if you don't do something about that dense, hardened fascia because it's more powerful than a muscle and it's strangulating it and binding it and preventing you from strengthening it and preventing you from properly stretching it. So, what the bendable body method does directly is it targets the fascia, restructures it, and actually exfoliates it. It's a subtractive technology. The fascia gets exfoliated, softened, thinned, kind of like if you get a facial or you take a pumice stone to that dry skin on the back of your heel and it sloughs off. That's what these stretches do internally to the fascia. It leaves your body as a toxin and regains that watery, webby, hydrated state so that your muscles can move better and take the pressure off the joints. The reason we have all the issues in the joints is because the muscles don't work good. So the joints overwork. And the reason the muscles don't work good is because they are being strangulated and bound by unhealthy fascia. Thousands of gyms in the world dedicated to muscles, none to fascia. And we are completely missing the boat here, folks. Really, we are. So that's what we do here at Bendable Body. We target that fascia, and the immediate result is an increase in strength, an increase in flexibility, and more. It also increases organ health, and we'll go into that. John will go into that when we start stretching. Let me just pause for a moment and make sure I didn't forget any of the key points that I always like to make about fascia. I don't think I did. I think I covered them all. So what I'm going to do is stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to invite John in to come and start talking about fascia. There we go. And then he's going to go into the stretching, and I will be back to answer, not to answer questions, to tell you about the membership and more about the bonuses. And then we will do a Q&A. So I hope that you all stay till the end. Here's John.
All right. Here's where we start to stretch, and we'll go a little bit more into fascia. As it relates to uh, solving a pain problem, strength, and flexibility. Okay. So we're going to do a stretch for our hamstrings, but we're going to do a little check-in first. So what we'll do is we'll kick your heel up to your butt a little bit, a few times. See how that feels on the left leg. Do it a few times on the right. Compare the two, see what they feel like, okay? Now, let's do a resistance stretch on the left central hamstring, okay? We're going to take a little step forward with our left foot, just a little step, right? Half step. Bend both knees comfortably. I have a chair nearby for balance because it's a resistance exercise. We don't want to worry about keeping our balance. And we're going to pull that heel back down into the mat and back, keeping a bend in our knee. Feel the resistance, feel the engagement of your central hamstring. Keep pulling back as you fold forward. Let it go and come back to the start. So resist, resist. Keep your head up as you fold forward and let it go. So the central hamstring attaches to the lower leg on the inside, just below the knee. Resist, 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 and let it go. Resist in the start. Square those hips up. You might want to tuck the tailbone a little. Stay with it. Resist, resist, and let it go. So you want to learn this method just to add to your toolbox so everything else you do gets better, right? Resist, resist, keep a bend in your knee, and let it go. So we're continually resisting because a lot of people, they resist in the start and then they kind of ease into it. They resist at the start. You want that heel's pulling back, pulling back, pulling back, pulling back, pulling back, pulling back the entire time. The resistance is continuous and consistent. It's the opposite of weightlifting. It's the opposite movement. When you're lifting a weight, does it ever get lighter? It's always 10 pounds. It's always 20 pounds. So your resistance is always continuous force. Let's do a couple more. Let it go. All right. Okay. Shake that leg out a little bit. Just see what you notice from one leg to the other. Where does your attention go? My attention goes to the foot. Nice, soft foot. Can anybody feel that? The other foot's a little hard. So imagine getting older and your feet getting softer and softer. That's kind of cool, right? Now, open hip on this side. This side seems a little flexed. Now, let's kick our heel up again and kick our heel on the other side. Do you notice the difference? It's quicker. It's going up a little higher. So you're getting faster. So if running, right, you're running and you've got faster muscle twitch, you're faster. This gets you faster and more flexible. Okay, so now let's see about strength. Let's see about strength. Let's do a little check-in with a mini lunge. Okay, we'll do the other leg. But for now, so let the right foot go forward and let it push you back. Let the right foot go forward, bend your knee a little and let it push you back. And just see how that feels. See where, your body's pulling you back, your legs doing something, or your arms or whatever your attention goes. And now try the left leg. Let your leg go forward and push back off of that leg, right? Push back off of that leg. So do both sides and see how it feels, okay? Just see how it feels. Now what we're going to do is the lateral hamstring on the right. We did the central hamstring on the left. Now we're doing a lateral hamstring. This lateral hamstring is associated with the health of our bladder. We'll explain the meridians and the fascial connection in just a moment. Same position of a stretch. Take your right foot, put it a little forward of your left foot, bend both knees. But to get your lateral hamstring, turn that front leg out a little bit. You just turn it out. And now pull your heel back, pull your heel back, pull your heel back as you fold forward, okay? So we're getting the lateral hamstring. We have three: a lateral, which is the bladder muscle group, central, which is brain, and medial, which is spleen, pancreas. So pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, and let it go. And then the breathing would be in and out through your nose to start. Let it go. So pull your heel back, tuck your tailbone. Okay, we're resistance stretching our lateral hamstring on our right leg, and let it go. Keep your head up, ribs in, tuck your tailbone, let it go. Noticing breathing is different on this muscle group. Even though they're right next to each other, they have different effects on the body. Let it go. Resist at the start, pull your heel back, pull your heel back, continually pull your heel back, and let it go. Let's keep going. Let's do a few more. You can reposition yourself. You want to make your legs a little wider, a little less wide. Wherever your attention goes, we're basically doing two things. We're resisting, and we have a muscle group that we're stretching, right? Resist, 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 and let it go. Now, the next component of a stretch is, where does your attention go? Do you notice your hips moving a little to the right or a little to the left? Your torso turning a little bit? Wherever your attention goes, that may be a place that you want to reposition just ever so slightly. So if your hips go out to the left a little, counter that. And usually what happens almost every time is you're able to generate more force, because stretching is about going after the path of greatest resistance. That's how you stretch. Okay, all right. Well, that dropped the shoulder on that side. What do you notice? That has a softer foot too, in a different way, but it's still soft. Now, let's check in with our little mini lunge. So that right foot goes forward and pushes you back. It's easier. That leg, do you feel that that's easier, push you back? So the first thing I notice is my torso is not helping me, my body's not helping me go back. The leg is pushing back. So that's an increase in strength, right? You keep doing that, that leg's going to get a lot stronger. So just imagine maybe a leg press, you're sitting, right? The leg press machine, you would do a lot of bladders and other muscle groups to help you get stronger. So this is a great complement for flexibility, strength, okay? And now what we're going to do, we're going to do a stretch for the arms. And it's not a pain point, but you can see maybe feel an area of tightness. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our arms up about shoulder height, right, at a right angle. And then we're going to move our arms straight back, and not too far, just to the point where you feel tightness, right? You feel tightness in the shoulder, on the front of the shoulder. Okay? Now, that's our check-in. All right? And what we're going to do is we're going to do a shoulder stretch on the right arm. Okay? And we'll do about a dozen. So this is a large intestine stretch. So we're going to put our right arm up at our side here, not out here, but just a little bit outside of center, shoulder height, and we're going to take our left hand and grab our elbow. So this is pillar one. This is the start position. Pillar two, resist. The arm you're stretching is going back. The helper hand is pulling against resistance. Resist, resist, stretch, stretch, stretch. Let it go and go back to the start. And you can bend your knees a little bit. Resist, 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 and let it go. Again, breathing in and out through your nose. You want to relax your pelvis, keep your ribs in. See, I'm bending my knees. I don't want to stand up and then my ribs go out and my pelvis flexes. You want to just relax that. That's an area of substitution. When the ribs come out or the pelvis tips forward, we don't want to do that. So keep resisting, resisting, resisting. Let it go. And you could spend a moment in that start position resisting like one Mississippi and then keep the resistance and let it go. Notice I don't have a big range of motion. I mean, I could go a little further, but then it starts to go into the joint. So we're focus is the fascia. The focus is always the fascia to engage it, keep it engaged, and let it go. Couple more. Stay with it. Stay with it. Let it go. Okay. All right. Shake it out. Just see what you notice at first, right? It's a more relaxed shoulder. I can see in the camera, mine's dropped a little bit. I don't feel that it dropped, but I can see. Now, let's check in. Let's put our arms up, shoulder height, and then let the arms go back. And I feel the tightness in the other shoulder right away. And this one, it can go back further. Can you feel that? It goes back further without the sensation. Now, we had the sensation, a potential pain point, okay, a sensation of tightness in the front of the shoulder. But we didn't stretch the front of the shoulder to remove that tightness. Remember how Sita was talking about uh, conscious Connie knows how to go after a pain point? All right, just keep that in your memory. If you join the membership, you'll learn it. It'll become second nature. But if you don't, just it's always the muscle on the other side of the bone that's causing the problem. The muscle that won't shorten. Muscles contract and shorten, and they move us. We want to reach up and grab something out of the cabinet. Traps and shoulder has to shorten, right? Um, you want to reach down the front of the body. Oh, that's a good one. So let's fold forward. This will be another example of where you feel the sensation, okay? Now, let's just gently bend our knees, all right? And then do a forward bend. Just fold forward into a place that's comfortable until you start feeling the pull on the back. Might be in your calves, or might be in a hamstring, might be in your glutes. You might feel it on one leg more than the other. Okay? All right, there's our check-in, just where we feel. We don't have to go too far. Okay, now we're going to learn a couple stretches for the front of our thighs, our hip flexors, and our quads. Now, we'll lie down on the mat, grab a pillow. You don't need a pillow. I like to have a pillow. I don't use it the whole time, but it's good to be comfortable. So, the first one we're going to do is hip flexor. That's the sexual meridian, and that's going to improve the health of our hormones. Um, if anyone's done Chinese medicine or had acupuncture, uh, they put needles in very specific points in our body to affect organs. Okay, so these electrical currents run through our body. They're housed in fascia. Okay, your meridians, your electrical system, the muscles that are associated with the organs, they're different, but they're separate, but they're connected. It's really important to change your fascia for the healthy organs that way too, all right? Left hip flexor means the right leg goes up in the air. Hold the back of your right leg with your right hand. That's going to be like a ballast. You're going to push the leg away, but it's not going to go anywhere. We're stretching the left leg. Bring the left leg into your body. Push the left leg away with your left hand and let it go. So your left leg is coming into your body, coming into your body. You're resisting and let it go. We're stretching our psoas major. Okay, this is a great stretch for sciatica because the sciatic nerve gets put upon by the psoas major. Let it go. Push away the helper leg. The more you push that away, the more force we have in the hip flexor. Breathing in and out through our nose. Stay with it. Stay with it. Bring the leg as close into your body as you can. Resist, 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 and relax on the way in. Let it go. Couple more. Doing our left leg here. Okay. All right. Now, your feet are on the ground, your knees are bent a little bit. You can move your knees a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. What do you notice? That leg's like connected to my upper body and it's moving. The other side seems like it's detached and it's not moving as well. Okay, so whatever you notice, the foot's softer again on that left side. Okay, quads on the left leg. The leg we just stretched is going to go up in the air. Left leg up in the air. Interlock your hands behind the middle of your thigh, not up by your knee, but right in the middle of your hamstring here. Now we're stretching this quad, so we're going to take our right leg and put it in front of our left ankle. This is our start position. Now we're going to press our left ankle down with our right leg, resist, resist, and then relax on the way up. So start with your legs about as straight as you can get them. Resist as you push your left ankle down. Let your left knee bend. Resist, resist, resist. Let it go and come back up to the start. And you may find that your hamstring, the leg that you're holding, is pressing away from you into your hands. Interlock your hands behind your thigh. Resist, resist, resist. Relax on the way up. Again, breathing in and out through your nose. So this quad is, we're stretching a muscle along the stomach meridian. The stomach meridian helps with the health of your stomach, regulates the health of your muscles throughout your body. And this is a stretch I did years ago. And periodically I still do it, but I went after it a lot because I had really bad allergies. And there's another version of this. Keep going. Let's do a couple more. It's burning. It's burning. That burn's already in there. We're taking it out. Okay. Woo. Just move your legs left to right and notice the difference between the two legs. Do you notice that the left leg is just simply moving better? And then the right leg seems like a little sluggish. Okay? Okay, let's roll on over. I know. But we got to check in. We got to see if anything changed. Okay? Anything changed in our forward bend. So gently bend those knees like we did before. Okay? And now let's just fold forward, fold forward. That left side, can you feel that you're folding better on that left side? Like your thigh and your abdomen are almost touching as you go down. Your left hand can touch the ground more easily than your right. We don't have as much sensation on the back of the left leg as we do on the right, right? Because when people touch their toes, they think, oh my God, my hamstrings are so tight. My hamstrings are so tight because they feel their hamstrings. Whenever you're doing something and something hurts, notice what muscle it needs to shorten to produce that movement. Okay? So if we're doing a forward bend, the front of the body has to shorten. Right? You got a problem in the front of your shoulder, it hurts to do this, you got to change the back. And vice versa. If it's going on in the back, you got to change the front. So this is part of what we want to teach you and that you'll learn continually ongoing. How to problem solve yourself, how to fix things. It's so hopeful. It's so cool going forward because every day you can have soft feet. You get up out of bed, you do a few hamstring stretches, you do some quad stretches, you have allergies, you go to bed at night, you ate something too late. Stretch those quads like we just did, lying in bed, and your indigestion goes away. It's really that amazing, our bodies. So now let's balance ourselves out. Let's go down and do the hip flexor and quad stretch again on the right leg. So we get both sides done. And I'm going to, just so my leg that I'm stretching is facing the camera. Yeah, sexual is the hip flexor, which is great for sciatic, helps with knee pain, and it's also good for things going on in your feet. And it improves the health of your hormones, gets them firing, gets them working better. So the left leg goes in the air. Hold the back of your left leg with your left hand. That leg's pushing away, but we're going to hold on to it here. Bring that right knee all the way into our body. Push it away against resistance and relax on the way in. Resist on the way out. Breathing in and out through our nose. And if this is your first time or you've done the challenge that you signed up and you did that 5 day challenge and you've been learning the technique, I've been doing this 20 years. You're always getting better at doing this. And you're always finding the path of greatest resistive force. And as your fascia gets better, like your muscles get better, you have almost more resistive force, but it's coming from muscle strength and contraction. And it's really a great exercise to do. You know, if you want to keep running, if you want to keep lifting, you want to keep doing yoga and have like really amazing poses. Let's keep going. Let's do a few more. We're stretching our hip flexor on the right. Let it go. Bring the knee in as close to your body as you can. So if you're familiar with Chinese medicine, the conception vessel comes down the center of the body. Well, Bob Cooley, who I trained with, he identified that it actually bifurcates and goes down the front of each leg. And the same for the governing vessel in the back of the body, which is brain. So he calls them sexual and brain instead of, okay, woo. Now just check in. It's always good to check in after you do a set because it's a great way to learn more and more about your body. So the right leg, it's a little better. The left leg's cool because we stretched it, but it got better, right? And it feels a little better, but it's kind of different than the other leg. Most of us are kind of asymmetric. So the more you stretch, the more subtle, the more you start to identify the subtleties in your body. Okay, quad, right leg up in the air. Interlock your hands behind the middle of your thigh, and then bring the helper leg. The left leg comes in front of the right ankle, and they're going to resist each other, and the left ankle is going to win. Let the left ankle push your right leg down and let it go and come on back up. Now, if you notice, I'm not really going anything past 90 degrees because we're stretching and lengthening and resisting for the front of the leg, but the back of the leg has to shorten. And if you're new to this and you go a little too far, it might go into your knee, right? The reason it goes into your knee is because you're producing a movement where a muscle won't sufficiently shorten. And again, just like we've been talking about in this training today, the key to flexibility, strength, movement, pain, problems in your joints, everything actually, is the ability of a muscle to contract and shorten. Let it go. So we start with the muscle short, we resist, it grabs the muscle, but more importantly, the fascia engages, and that all that force we feel, let it go. Let's do a couple more. Stay with it, stay with it. Let it go. Whoa, it's burning. All right, couple more. Okay. Okay, cool. Now, just so these are two stretches you can do like in bed when you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning. But while we're down here, let's learn a hamstring stretch. So, we have a little balancing action going on here. So put the right leg up in the air, keep it bending your knee, gentle flex in your foot. And we're going to interlock our hands behind our knee. Well, not the knee, but just the thigh right near the knee. Okay. We're going to push the leg away from us, right? That's our start position to stretch our hamstring, the back of the leg. So keep pressing away while your shoulders and arms pull your leg in against resistance. Let it go. And when you're doing your hamstrings on your back, like we are now, you could create a little arch in your low back. And that'll help reduce substitution. And if you notice, it creates more force. Let it go. Resist, resist, resist. Now, when I say create an arch, it's physically, your skin will still be touching the ground and everything, but you'll flex your pelvis a little bit. It's probably the only time I'll ever tell you to flex your pelvis, is lying supine, stretching your hamstrings or your adductor. Let it go. So this is a great stretch to do lying in bed. Central hamstring, this is brain. This helps with sleep too. This helps with sleep. Okay, okay. Um, all right, let's roll on over. Let's come on back up again. And we're going to do one more. So, you know, I did yoga for 3 years. After I used to lift and I used to run to lose weight. I had weight problems. The only time I ever lost weight was when I would run. I'd lose weight and I'd stop running and would gain it again. And then, in the late 90s, I was introduced to yoga and I loved it. So I'm like thinking, well, that's a component I've never incorporated. So we really think that we have to do strength training. Then there's something else for flexibility training. Then there's something else for cardio. Okay. And as you work this tissue in the way we're doing it, you're going to get all of that. Okay. You're going to get absolutely all of that. And we're going to check in. We're going to do a nice stretch for our shoulder, but we're going to do a reverse push up. I mean, a push up, just a regular push up. We'll do it off our knees. We're not going to, you can do it off your feet, but however you want to do it, just let your body go down. It doesn't have to go down very far, and just like push yourself up. And you can, usually you feel into your joints, your shoulder joints, right? One side might feel, might be some crunchies in there, right? Okay, that's our check-in, right? A push-up develops your chest and your biceps. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a shoulder stretch similar to the first one we did, except for the left arm. So let's put our right foot forward. We'll be on our left knee. This is also a large intestine stretch for the shoulder, but we call it kneeling twist. So we're going to put our left elbow either on, or if you can get it to the outside of your right knee, and let your hand face forward, and then you grab the back of your left hand with your left wrist with your right hand. Here's our start position. Now they're resisting each other, but the right hand's going to pull your arm back against resistance and then let it go and come on back. Okay, we're stretching the shoulder outside of the arm. Resist, 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 and let it go. Breathing in and out through your nose. So large intestine, this muscle group we're stretching, is great for shoulder joint pain. I noticed the hips won though. More people wanted hips. Both came in second, and shoulder was not too far third, but stay with it, and let it go. Let it go. And large intestine also regulates blood pressure. So if you have high or low blood pressure, regularly stretching this muscle group. Also doing lung. It's a balancing muscle pair. We have that in the membership too. It's also Chinese medicine. Lung, large intestine is the metal element. Couple more. Couple more. Okay, shake it out. Parkinson's is also associated with large intestine. So that would help. General stretching would help too. Okay, you can just feel that chest is more open on that side. Feels like the arm's in a better place in the shoulder joint. Now, let's do our push-up again. Let's just do a couple and pay attention and see how we feel. What do you notice? Let's go see what happens here. Wow. Okay. Um, More strength. Easier to do. But did you notice there's a little more space in the joint? Maybe less crunchies. The other side still has whatever wonky movement it has. And we didn't change the front, right? We didn't stretch the chest or the bicep to change the strength of the chest or bicep. We stretched the outside and back of the shoulder to change the strength of the chest and to do a push-up easier. So again, we want you to learn how to become your problem solvers. Of course, we're here to answer any questions going forward, and we'd love to help you out. But But is it starting to make sense that the balancing muscle or the muscle that needs to shorten is really the key element in strength, movement, and in your pain points? So let's balance that out. Let's do large intestine on the right shoulder. So that means the left foot's going to go forward, and we're going to take our right elbow on or to the outside, right? Hand is facing as uh, far forward as you can. Grab the back of your wrist, and then the resist, 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 resist as you pull back. Relax as you go forward. Breathing in and out through your nose. And then you notice as you go through the set, I didn't notice this on the other ones. We get a better start position, right? Because that's a range change. And that's a really important range change. Having a muscle be able to get shorter and shorter. Let it go. Breathing in and out through our nose. Resist, resist, and let it go. Continually resist. Continually resist. And then reposition yourself after you go through the set a little bit. Maybe you can get your arm a little further to the outside and lower, and you'll have more leverage and you'll get a better stretch. Let it go. Okay. Nice open chest. That's great for neck pain too. Large intestine, lung, that pairing is good for neck pain. And if you want to check in and see how that helped your shoulder and your chest, God, you know what's great? The space you create in your joint when you do this exercise, and your joints are protected because you resist, you stay out of the joints. It's really got to hand it to Cooley. He figured out something amazing, and it's us. So let me answer any questions you
Oh,
have.
actually, John, why don't I come in first and then we'll do questions?
Okay.
Yep. So why don't let's switch.
Speech is in the game now. I'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. Sorry about that and the tag teaming, but anyway. So let me just make sure my volume is good. So, I'm going to now tell you a little bit about our membership program, and then John is going to answer all of your questions. And I've seen a couple of them already in the chat. So we're going to get to those, and I'm going to keep this super fast. So don't worry. We're not going to keep you for too long. So, our membership program, I'm actually going to share my screen again and take you through it and just show it to you literally. That's like always the best approach. Let me just get there. Not that. Here we go. Let's do escape. Bear with me. Here we go. So this is the Bendables membership program. We have over 450 on-demand videos in here, which means you can watch them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection from anywhere in the world. It's on demand, like YouTube, like Netflix, anything like that. We also have live classes that come with the membership program. There are 2 a week, plus special live events, plus special guest speakers. All the recordings get saved in case you can't make it live. I think that, when I say all of that, the first thought is, oh my God, what am I supposed to do with 450 videos? I have no idea what to do. It's actually not at all overwhelming in that sense. They're divided up in a very easy to consume way. And we also provide quite a bit of direction and instruction if that's something that you want. Some people like to just kind of freelance. So I'm going to just quickly show you what's in here so that you know what we have. Just so you know, we've had this membership site up since 2019. John and I built it ourselves. We did have the videos professionally filmed, and we've added many videos over the last 6 years. And there have been over 2,500 members in this program. So a lot of people have stretched. We don't have 25 active members right now. But what we've noticed over the last few years is 50%, just let that sink in, 50% of the people that are joining are rejoining. So there are people that have quit because stuff came up in life. Maybe there was a financial crunch, something, and they quit, and then they come back. And that's really fascinating, positive to us because we're like, yes, they got it. They know it works. They had to take a break and now they're back. So that's just something I wanted to share with you because it's just something that's been on our mind. And we're like, whoa, this is awesome. Okay, so what's in here? What do you get if you decide to join? Categories. We'll go there first. Tutorials. So there are about, I think, 10 tutorials. They're all fairly short. It goes over the basics, how to stretch, fascia, the meridian lines, important concepts like strength versus stretch, flexibility versus range of motion, and, obvious things like props. What do you need? And form. Everybody always wants to know what to do about their form. So that's the tutorials page. There is also a single stretches page. So this represents all of the individual stretches on the membership site, and there are quite a few of them. And we have them, you'll notice, labeled by organ, then by area of the body, and then by muscle or muscle group. And so all of our stretchers are going to always be first referred to as the organ that they make healthier, which is kind of cool. So you've got how many? 4 gallbladder stretches, and they go from easier to more difficult. But honestly, when I say that, it's a little bit misleading because depending on what you're bringing to the stretch, how much you're resisting during the stretch, this stretch, gallbladder 1, can be just as difficult as this stretch, gallbladder 4. It's really about what you're bringing to it. But of course, some people can't get down onto the ground right now. So we would recommend they start in more the 1-2 range. Okay, so that's the single stretches page. You can see we've got a ton of them because there are 16 major muscle groups, and there's anywhere from, I don't know, 3 to maybe 8 different stretches for each of these muscle groups. Stretch flows, super popular page. We call our videos flows, and this is a page with a number of flows targeting really common things like hips, elbow, neck, shoulder, full body, wrist and hand, hamstrings. We do a lot of hamstring stuff, sacral, SI joint, upper body, lower body, etc. Right? All of our videos, I'm not going to say all, but 80%, 85% are in the 15 to 20-minute range, right? Because we know that's about the amount of time everybody wants to spend. We do have some longer ones, but the bulk are in that range. So there's the stretch flows page. These are some other pages with more videos that I feel like you don't need to know about right now when you're just getting a bird's eye view. Really cool section is the standing and seated only section. So if you're not able to get down on the ground yet, this can be home for you to start. You just start right in this area. Search index. There are over 140 searchable terms on the site. So if you have a meniscus tear, or you want to stretch your elbows, or you're dealing with forgiveness issues, or you want to focus on the skin meridian, or you have Lyme or eczema, you just grab the word. I'm going to do constipation. So I copied it. I go to the all videos page. This little Zoom box is in my way. Is it in your way? Put it in the search bar. All the videos that are going to help with constipation are going to pop right up. So that's a really great feature for people. And then the last thing I want to bring here, well, a couple more things. So this is where all the live class recordings get housed. And I told you we have a couple live classes a week. We also have special live events, and they're pretty awesome. We just recently had someone on, his name's David Bass, and he talked to us about mitigating EMF in your house, like Wi-Fi exposure and dirty electricity. So that was really informative. We had Dr. Louisa Williams. She's a renowned homeopath, naturopath, chiropractor. She's written a number of books. She's incredible. She was great. John does workshops. He did a resistance workshop. Once in a while, I'll do a workshop. We'll bring on members. We also have monthly challenges. So every month we have a 3, 4, or 5 day in a row live challenge where you come, you stretch for 20, 30 minutes with John, ask your questions. And what's great about the live stuff is some people love that. It's accountability, it's motivation, it's a chance to ask John your live questions. The other thing too is we know, so John and I know that this is a new method to most of you, to most people. We know that you've come because you want to get a result, you have stuff going on with your body, you're trying to figure it out. We are like very motivated to make sure you get the help that you need. In under every single video, every single one, there's a comments area. Oh, I'm not signed in. That's why you can't see it. I'm pretending like I'm you. As soon as you sign in, as you remember, there's an area where you can comment under every single video, and we check those every day and respond. And like, if you're still confused, we're going to jump on a call with you. Like, let's figure this out because we know that this method works. We know that you can get help. And we're a two-person run company. We're the co-founders. We're the ones with all the experience. Something technical comes up, we're getting back to you. Something to do with stretching comes up, we're getting back to you ASAP. So that's what you're dealing with. It's a very white glove, hands-on company. Um, so I was just talking about the live classes, special live events. Lastly, comments area I covered, search index I covered, super year program. So what this is 52 weeks of instruction. It's set up into 13 modules. You go by week. As soon as you join, you start getting an email on a weekly basis letting you know where you're in where you are in the super year program. So this really takes the guesswork out of what do I stretch? We tell you week to week. Now, what if you're like, well, I have sciatica. Is the super year problem going to solve that? Yes. Here's the situation. When it comes to the fascia, we get diversity of symptoms. Every single person here has a diversity of a different symptom. Maybe a handful of you have the same one, but everybody's got a different problem. But the root causes are very similar. It's dense fascia and it shows up in all humans' bodies in very predictable places. So you really have to go after it systematically. So what's great about this year-long program is it really is a full body overhaul, but it's going to target each of the areas associated with each symptom as well. It does both. So it really doesn't matter what your symptom is. And some people love the super year program because they don't want to think about what to do. They want us to just tell them, this is what you do. Other people are like, no, I want to do my own thing. They go to the stretch flows page, they go to one of the other categories and they do their own thing. Entirely up to you. But both options are available inside the membership. So we keep it really simple and really easy. Okay, what does it cost? So let's go to the home. We have two payment plans. It's an auto renew program. So you pay on an auto renew cycle, you keep paying unless you cancel. The monthly payment plan is $45 a month. You pay every month $45 to keep accessing all the videos and to come to all the live events and to have access to John. I also forgot to mention there's a members only Facebook group. We have an incredible community of stretchers. They're great. And so that's one payment plan. The second payment plan is yearly. You pay upfront for 12 months and then it will auto renew the following year unless you cancel. As soon as you cancel, you stop paying at the end of the payment cycle and you lose access. And it's very easy to cancel. You can do it so easily inside your dashboard. It's a single click moment. You just press cancel. The benefit of the yearly is you save $90. You basically get 2 months for free in that 12-month period. The benefit of the monthly is it's more flexible. You can cancel anytime. The other thing about the monthly is we have a 30-day money guarantee policy because we want you to be able to try it. So if you sign up, you do have to like enter your credit card to sign up. It's the way that the system works. And you try it for 30 days and you don't like it, you send me an email within that 30-day period. Just email me, info@bendable.body, Sita@bendable.body. You can find our email address on our main website. It's on the membership site. You've gotten plenty of emails from us. So you just reply to any one of those and let me know that you want to cancel. It's been within the 30 days. I will give you your $45 back. I will not give you your $450 back. So do not sign up for the yearly if you're thinking you might want to cancel. The 30-day money back guarantee only applies to the monthly. So if you want to give it a try, if you're on the fence, go ahead and sign up for the monthly. You can upgrade. Once you're signed up, you can change to the yearly. So you can always change your mind after the fact and start getting that deal. Okay, bonuses. Oh my God, bonuses. So I'm really excited about the bonuses because I think everybody's going to love them. Our most popular videos inside the memberships, kind of interesting, are shoulders and hips. I think that that's kind of a moving target. It could change. It's as of the last 12 months. So those are the two bonuses that we created. If you join as part of this June enrollment, you are going to get a shoulder video. It's 30 minutes long. You get to own it. You can download it to your computer, keep it for the rest of your life, share it with everyone you know if you want, and an ebook to go with it that like is a printed version of all the stretches in it. So whether you have acute or chronic shoulder pain, it's going to help immediately. And then over time, it's all going to go away. And then also a hip video, which is, I think, 20 minutes, focusing on the medial hamstring, which targets hips, also affects the pancreas meridian, plantar fasciitis, bunions, a few other things. Great videos. You get to own them as bonuses, free bonuses with this June enrollment period that only goes through June 16th. We're also including a couple other bonuses. I'm calling them surprise, but not really because I'm about to tell you what they are. A Meridian Stretch Guide, another ebook that goes over all of the organ associations with stretching. Super cool physiological and organ associations with each of the 16 muscle groups. And a running bonus. Now, if you're thinking, running, really? So people love to run at all ages, and they can't because stuff hurts. Here's the reality. There's a way that you can run that will get your heart rate up, improve your body, and not aggravate injuries. And so that's really what this tutorial video is. John teaches you how to do that. It's a video. So you get all of those bonuses, and you can do it in a really small space, I'll add. So you can do it in the winter, even like inside your house, like in your living room or something. It's really cool. So you get all those bonuses with this June enrollment, which closes June 16th. Was there anything else that I wanted to share with you? Yes, there is. I'm going to keep it super brief because I think I've covered everything. You know what's in the membership, you know who you're dealing with. Um, we've been doing this a long time. This is the main portion of our business. We stretch right alongside our members. You are dealing with us. There's no one taking advantage of you. You are dealing with human beings, no bots. I answer all the emails, and John is directly stretching with you. We both answer the comments inside the membership. So that's how it all goes down. You understand the prices, you understand the value. Money back guarantee only applies to the monthly. Please don't sign up for the yearly and send me an email in 2 weeks asking for your money back. Please don't do that. Okay. I want to just go over a few testimonials and then I'm going to hand it over to John just because we have so many incredible members and it's just amazing. I get inspired every time I read these. So this is Mary Jane. My body is very different than it was when I started a year ago. I wasn't able to do some of the stretching and the Pilates that I had been doing for a long time. I was very depressed about it and had already had to give up running 10 years ago. These exercises have made all the difference. Getting rid of the hard fascia was the answer. Even my hands, I was worried that I was going to have to quit knitting and playing piano, but my hands have gotten stronger and I do the finger exercises pretty much daily. I will start doing the figure eights. She's referring to the running bonus. As soon as it gets a little warmer here, I'm turning 70 in a few months, and instead of being afraid for my future, I am now looking forward to having a strong, energetic body that will allow me to do the things I love to do. Thank you both again. The truth of the matter is, every time John and I read these testimonials, and we have hundreds, we're surprised. Like, I think all of us are a little bit jaded. Like, does anything work? And we know that it does, but it still kind of blows our mind. Anyway, moving on. This is Anne. Is stretching helping me to feel less pain and stiffness? Absolutely. I can honestly say that my knee pain has decreased by 80 to 90%. In what other scenario does that happen? In the mornings, no more shuffling around to get my joints warmed up. Anybody else experiencing that? I know I am. I feel like I'm moving more like I did 10 to 15 years ago. Is that possible? I wasn't expecting all these wonderful changes. So this is about the concept that you're going to have to, like I have to, strength train, I have to do cardio, and I have to stretch. You don't. This is one-stop shopping. When you do this method, as you just experienced, it's a workout. You're strength training, you get your heart rate up, it's fixing your alignment, it's removing pain and injury, and it's solving organ problems. It's like does everything. So these testimonies in particular are to do with getting heart rate up because we taught a ton of live classes during COVID. And so people were there with their Fitbits and they kept on letting us know what was going on. Tracy Lee, according to my Fitbit, this was an impressive fat burning series of exercises. 44 minutes of the 45 was at fat burning rate. Diane, I sweat more than cardio at the gym. Be present in the stretch, as per John. No turning on the music or reading while you stretch. Nancy, biggest calorie burn in class yet. My Apple Watch read 190. Usually I get 130. Pretty cool. Yeah, let me see. Is there any other testimonials I want to show you? Yep. Okay. I think we're going to close it up now, and John's going to come and answer all of your questions. The membership join link is in the chat right now. You're also going to get it emailed to you um, today at 5 o'clock and then again. So I'm going to hand it over to John to answer questions. Just need to get that out of the way. All right. It was really nice to see you guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for all your attention. And here's John. Hi.
All right, I see a couple questions. Hypermobility. This does work with hypermobility, Alice. Um, Again, if you just stay in the resistive force, you'll keep it out of the joints, and uh, you'll have a lot less pain. Can you search all for Parkinson's? Well, Donna, so I worked with Bob Cooley for 10 years, and we got involved in some pretty intense situations, and people with all types of illnesses showed up, and we would make an association with a muscle group and a symptom. So, like multiple sclerosis associated with the pericardium, Parkinson's associated with the large intestine, Lyme associated with pancreas. But that doesn't mean you only stretch that muscle group. That means that's the organ that uh, symptom is affecting. Okay, and I mean, if they just start stretching, you'll start to feel better, and the symptoms will be less, depending on how deep it is in your system, how long you've had it. It varies a lot there. Problem with metatarsal pain in the foot. It can. Notice your feet feel softer. So we have 16 muscle groups. It's a 16, 8 in the legs, 8 in the arms. And if the people that do the super year program, every Wednesday we do a full body flow, regardless of whatever areas we're working on. And that's a good thing to do. You want your whole body because the fascia in your body, our movements are dependent on wherever the toughest tissue is in your body. That's dictating what's happening in your body. And generally speaking, without any traumas or injuries, it's the back of the body, right? So it's kind of obvious what I'm going to do. But when people get older, does this happen or does this happen, right? And why does this happen? Because the back of the body gets denser connective tissue and the hamstrings don't shorten, so they're pushing the pelvis up. The back of the neck and shoulders don't shorten, so they're pushing it down forward. And so when we do our monthly challenges, for the members, we're focusing on those tough tissues. And we're standing upright and it feels great. It's a cumulative effect when you change the fascia. So you want to go after the toughest tissue in your body and then generally in everybody's, which is the top back of the shoulders and the back of the legs. Can we still do traditional static stretching? Totally. You can do this, will make everything else better. But one thing I definitely want to tell you, because they can feel good, they release tension temporarily. While they're releasing tension, so if you're hanging in an end range, you're stretching your hamstring traditionally, right? You're hanging out, legs straight, and you're, oh, wow, wow, wow. Well, it's creating micro tears in the tissue. If there's no resistance and you're hanging out and you're stretching like we were all taught, it's creating micro tears, like you're holding your arm against the wall and you're just pulling on the chest. Oh, wow, it feels so good. The body responds to micro tears with an immune system response, white blood cells. And it patches up this tears that you created with traditional stretching or any stretching, except for this one. And well, what do you think the muscle does next time you need it to work? It's less contractibility. It's weaker. I mean, studies have shown this. But you can do anything you want. Maybe just add a touch of resistance to your traditional stretching. Is there time? Well, for the offer on Monday, for the extra videos that you get to keep. What about osteoporosis, osteopenia? Does it help with bone strength? It does. People have reported back to us, which is kind of amazing, that their bone density is increasing. So each muscle, each organ has like a tissue association. So the bones are associated with the health of your bladder. And the bladder is, we did a stretch for the bladder, lateral hamstring. And uh, okay, one last stretch. Let's just stand up here. Let's feel this. Let's see. Let's experience. So what do they tell you to do for osteopenia or osteoporosis? Weight bearing exercises. Well, when we get older, do we lose any weight? Are we like 100 pounds? We used to be 200 pounds? No. Well, why are we have to? Okay. Um, Lateral hamstring left leg. So legs, left leg in front a little bit. Knees are bent. Turn that left leg out. We're going to do over a dozen lateral hamstrings on the left leg. Now, it happens to be bladder, which regulates the health of your bones. But we're going to check in after we do this. So pull your heel back, tuck your tail, square it up, keep those ribs in, resist, 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 relax on the way back. Pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, and let it go. It's the resistive force and the continuous resistive force that changes this tissue, that gets our muscles stronger. And as Sita was saying, she read a couple of those testimonials. People's heart rates go up. They sweat. People haven't sweat in 15 or 20 years, or they've never sweat, even when they go to the gym. And you do a class with us, or you do some of the videos, you're sweating. It's really great. So let's keep going here. Resist, 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 and let it go. And spending a moment in the start position is really helpful to resist, resist, resist. So this is the way I'm answering that question on osteoporosis, Nancy. Let's do a couple more. Stay with it. Stay with it. Okay, okay. Shake it out a little bit. Now, as you stand there, do you feel more weight coming through your left foot? It's obvious. It's more weight bearing. Why isn't the weight coming down through the right foot? Dense fascia, the muscles aren't contracting, the foot would get harder and harder, the foot gets softer and more weight bearing. Okay, so there's your answer to osteopenia or osteoporosis. You're naturally more weight bearing. See, well, then, if the bones don't bear the weight, what is? As the fascia gets harder, we're floating in the fascia and we're not finding the ground. You can see, you feel that, right? I mean, isn't that what's just happened? Bone strength and density. Yep, 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 yep. All right. Thank you for your time, everybody. This was great. If we don't see you now in the membership, maybe we'll see you in the future. It's a great thing to add to your toolbox. We have a really wonderful community, and hope to see you in the membership. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.